Hello, welcome back. So we are about to embark on the journey of algebra, which seems to be very intimidating for a lot of students, and it shouldn't be. Okay, if you had to really summarize what algebra is, it's just getting the poor letters, the ones you care about, the ones that concern you, by itself. So in this case, we have 3z plus 4 equals 34. 3z implying 3 times some number plus 4 to it will equal to 34. Okay? So what you want is eventually to get z by itself down here. So you want to end up with z equals. Okay? But before we get there, we need to essentially evict anybody who is not part of this party. So look at the equal sign as a door. Okay, here's everybody at the party. On the right hand side is everybody not in the party. Okay, so what we're going to first do is get rid of things that are associated with the z that should not be associated with the z. Now, first we identify that there are two terms over here. Well, no, actually, sorry. First off, we identify where the variable is. The variable is on the left-hand side. So it would make sense to keep the variable on this side rather than moving it. So we notice here there are two terms. Now, a term is separated by a plus or a minus sign. Okay, so in this case, we have two terms on this side and one term over here. Okay, so we want to first move the 4. Move the 4 over here. Now when numbers get moved across the equal signs, the sign changes. So it becomes 34. Instead of plus 4, we have minus 4. And the 3z is still on this side. Nothing has happened there. Okay? Now we make sure we move any of the addition or subtraction first. Okay? Now let's remember what I said earlier about math moving downwards now, okay? So on the right-hand side here, we realize it says 34 minus 4. That simply equals 30, right? And now on the left-hand side, nothing has happened. Now it's saying 3 times some number will equal to 30, okay? So the reason the sign changes at the beginning from positive to negative is because the sign, it does the opposite operation. So here we got plus 4, we move it over, it becomes minus 4. Now we have 3 times some number equals 30. Okay? Well, times 3. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Dividing. That's right. Which means to get rid of that 3, because we're multiplying on this side, we simply divide by 3 on the other side. Okay? And our answer would be 30 divided by 3, which is 10. Z equals 10. And always, 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 always check your answer. So we can check. And how do we check? Well, the original equation was 3z plus 4 equals 34. Which means if I replace z equals 10, 3z plus 4 equals 34. That was the original equation. If I replace the z with a 10, which is what we found, our answer should still hold true. Let's see. 3 times BEDMAS, so brackets, none. Well, there is a bracket there, but there's nothing going on in there. Exponents, none. Division, none. Multiplication, yes. So let's do multiplication first. 3 times 10 is 30, plus 4. Now this is, you can clearly see it's true, but 30 plus 4, 34 equals 34. Check, we are correct. Okay. Alright, and that's for the first 5 questions. Now for the next 4, it gets a little bit more complicated. However, exact same idea. Okay? So here we need to identify where the variable is. Well, we notice there's an x here, there's an x here, 4x, 3x, and then there's a single number there and a single number there. Okay? So essentially what we want to do is get all the letters together and all the numbers together. Okay? So again, equal signs lining up. Now we could decide to move the 4 over here to join the 3x, or you can move the 3x over here to join the 4x. Either one is fine. I'm going to move the 3x over here, okay, to join the 4x. So, color coding again. Now we have 4x on this side. So because it's 3x, there's no sign in front. We can assume it's a positive. And if we move it over, it becomes a minus 3x. And then the plus 3 hasn't gone anywhere, has it? It stays. And the minus 2. So that's what we have so far. Now, let's group the numbers together. Okay, so let's move the 3 over to join this guy. Now the negative 2, nothing has happened. If I move the plus 3 over, it becomes minus 3. And then over here we have 4x minus 3x. Okay? Now last but not least, 4 apples minus 3 apples gives me 1 apple. Now negative 2 minus 3. Now I'm going to assume you are comfortable with your negative numbers, but if not, there's no harm in using a calculator. Negative 2 minus 3. Negative 2 minus 3 equals negative 5. Now 1x, you could say just x instead of 1x, because if you really think about it, I can say 1 Mr. Tram or just Mr. Tram. Okay? And that is your answer. Now, again, let's check. So check. Now, our original was 4x, plus 3 equals 3x minus 2. So we got x to be negative 5, correct? So, instead of x, we're going to have negative 5 plus 3 equals 3. Instead of x, we're going to have negative 5 once again. Minus 2. So 3 times negative 5 is negative 50. Or, sorry, let's do this side first. But all the multiplications first. 4 times negative 5, negative 20 plus 3. 3 times negative 5, negative 15 minus 2. Now once again, I'm assuming you're comfortable with negatives, but once again I'm going to use a calculator. You can type in negative 20. Now the only reason I'm showing you by typing in the calculator is to show you how to type in the question. Okay, negative 17. And negative 15 minus 2 is again negative 17. It checks out. Okay? Alright, see you next lesson.